Super Videos back at you for another Q&A video. This is gonna be my Q&A number 15. Before I start this video, I just wanted to remind everyone to be considerate when you're posting questions. Don't post more than 2 questions because it's just gonna make my job harder if there's like 7 questions from one person. So this is what I'm gonna say. I will not be answering more than 2 questions per person from now on. For this video, I have answered more than 2 for one person, but from here on, I will not be doing that. I will only be answering 2 of your questions if you post more than 2. And the rest of them, I'm gonna check it. If I like the question, I'm gonna answer it in the next Q&A. If I don't like it, I'm just not gonna answer it. So if you want your questions answered, the best thing for you to do is just to post 1 or 2 questions. That way you know I'm gonna answer it. Now, before I get into the questions, I just want to tell everyone this is a Q&A, so I'm going to be answering questions, so I may spoil some things for you. So this is your official spoiler warning for the Walking Dead comic book and the TV show. So let's get right into this. Let's start with the Walking Dead show questions. So the first 5 questions are from the same person. They come from Zach Maddox. I'm just going to go through these questions quick. The first question is, do you think Carl will shoot Lucille? I think he would definitely do that. That's a major part of the arc in the comic book when Carl shoots Lucille, and it's basically a sign from the war. And even after the war, when we see Lucille, that symbol that's on there, that sign, reminds us of all that war. And I think that's very important to keep. Now, it might not be Carl, I'm gonna be honest here, it might be someone else, but I think that's gonna definitely happen. Someone will shoot Lucille. The next question, do you think Enid is a spy? I don't think Enid is a spy, no. If she is, they've been very transparent about it, and they've basically not given us any clue, and I just don't think that's what they would do if she was in fact a spy. The next question, do you wish Hershel was still here? Yes, I definitely do. I loved Hershel. He was a pure character. He was a very loved character, and I just loved the advice he gave people and basically him being a symbol of knowledge. I just loved that. And yeah, I wish he was still alive, but I loved how they handled his death, and I think they gave him a super badass death. The next question, do you think we will see Judith's death since they killed both Lori and Judith in the comic book? I don't think so. I think if they haven't killed Judith by now, they are not going to do it. They're going to keep her around, at least for now. Maybe in a couple seasons they may kill her off, but right now I think they're going to keep her alive. So yeah. So the next question comes from Brenan Ratay, and he asks, do you think Enid could have a role in All Out War as maybe a spy? Another Enid a spy question. I don't know, maybe there's a spoiler going around about that because a lot of people are asking this now. But I don't think Enid will have a role as a spy in All Out War or right now in any place. I don't think she's going to be a spy for the Alexandrians. I don't think she's going to be a spy for the Saviors. I don't think that's what her role is going to be. I think they have some plans for her, but I don't think being a spy is one of them. The next question comes from David Farley, and he asks, since Greg Nicotero already confirmed that the POV shot from inside the van was Daryl's POV shot, even though we can clearly see Daryl's head, does that mean that he's going to die? So he's referring to the POV shot, saying that because the finale of season 6 started with a POV shot and ended with a POV shot, and if that POV shot was Daryl's, as confirmed by Nicotero, does this mean that Daryl is going to die? I don't think that's the case. I think what they had in mind for those POV shots, the decision to do that was basically to have the characters be present throughout the capturing scene. And if you remember, in the POV shot from the van, we could hear in the background Simon talking to Rick and the others. So they just wanted to have Daryl, Michonne, Glenn, and Rosita present for all of those scenes in some shape or form. So that's all I think it is. It doesn't mean Daryl is going to die. If that was the case, they wouldn't confirm it like that. That's one main reason I don't think that's the case. The next question comes from Gavin Cottrell, and they ask, Do you think the actress of Maggie is hinting too much of her or Glenn's character dying? She's been so emotional at the past Comic-Con panels. Yeah, to be honest, I do. I think she let her emotions get the best of her in those panels, and it clearly showed. And it's either that she's a very good actress and she's fooling us, or there's something going on. And I think there's something going on. But to answer the question, yeah, I think it is hinting at either Maggie or Glenn's death. I'm leaning more towards Glenn's death. The next question comes from Morgan Jones, the role player, and the question is, do you think, for example, Glenn gets picked after the first hit, he hallucinates from Dale or Hershel, and each of them tells him something? Or if Daryl gets picked after the first hit, would he hallucinate from Merle saying, baby brother, stay tough, or from Beth? It goes for Abraham hallucinating from his dead wife. I think, yeah, they can definitely do something like that to make the scene emotional and to give the audience some kind of emotional impact straight away like that after each hit. But I think it would come off as more emotional and impactful if they do something like that at the end. So once the person is clearly dead, they could have flashbacks instead of doing it after each hit. But I could see them do both ways, and it just depends on the way they do it. Maybe the way you're describing, they can do it and it would be perfect, but it just depends on how they can do it. The next question comes from the Black Antihero, and he asks, if the governor was still alive, do you think he would join Negan? I think the governor may want to join Negan, not with the best intentions, but he may. But I don't think Negan would accept the governor. I think Negan, being the type of character he is, would definitely understand that there's something going on with the governor and realize that the governor could be a threat, and Negan would probably either kill him or have everyone just cautious of the governor, because obviously the governor does not shy away from showing how brutal he is, and it shows because he even killed his own people. So when he just loses it, he loses it, and Negan is going to recognize that, and that's going to make him not want to be with the governor. Not that he would want to be with anyone or join forces with anyone, but the governor is the last person he would want to join forces with, in my opinion. Now let's move on to the comic book / TV show questions. The question comes from Steven Moraga, and he asks, during the Whisperer War in the show, do you think that Enid will reveal she is Alpha's daughter? No, that doesn't make any sense to me. One, that's way down the line, and Enid is already here, so it doesn't make sense for the backstory to go that far, you know? And I don't think it would make sense, to be honest, because Enid's parents are dead, and Enid is not the type of person Lydia is. And I know we don't know too much about Enid, but we know so much that she is not a ruthless person, and I think there is some ruthlessness to Lydia. The next question comes from Mohammed Marafi, and he asks, is the TV show Negan the same as comic show Negan? His speech, moves, attitudes. I think the general case, yeah, they are the same character, but there's more humor to comic book Negan, and there's more brutality to comic book Negan, but there's seriousness to TV show Negan. But overall, I think they're the same character, and, you know, we're just getting introduced to Negan, so maybe at the end of season 7, I would have a different answer, and maybe Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan would bring us more of comic Negan, but we're gonna have to wait and see. The last question is a comic book question, and it comes from Steven Moraga, and he asks, how do you think Negan will act now with Lucille dead? I think we're gonna definitely see a changed Negan. I don't know for the better or for the worse. Probably somewhere in between. But we are definitely going to see a different Negan. Maybe even an unstable Negan. But we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with comic Negan and where they take his character and his storyline. But that's it for this Q&A video. If you want to participate in the next Q&A video, leave your questions in the comment section below. Make sure to put Q&A before your question so I can find it. Make sure not to post more than 2 questions. And I'm going to be doing my next Q&A video probably next Friday, next week. And I'm so excited for the premiere. It's almost there. With the season starting, obviously we're going to have more questions and more things to discuss. So I'm looking forward to the next few Q&A videos and discussing season 7 with you. Also, I just wanted to let everyone know about the schedule of my videos starting season 7. So I'm going to be doing my reviews once the episode airs, and I'm going to be posting that Sunday. I'm also going to be doing my promo breakdown as well on Sunday, but my predictions are probably going to be moved to a couple days after, or even the Friday leading up to the next episode. And my reviews are going to be podcast videos like this, commentary, the same with my predictions, but my promo breakdowns are probably going to be text, and it's just going to be what I have been doing and nothing new. But I'm going to be starting to do review and predictions. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll be back for another video.